I was actually gonna film this while I was at the beach today, um, but I noticed that in that moment I had just finished actually my meditation practice or my mindfulness practice, and I had already started actually doing some like internet stuff because I'm trying to get started now on doing this, on being more active online in the sense of like sharing content, because I genuinely do want to try and reach people and offer what I can offer my gifts to the world. And so I was just doing something for Instagram because to like start and I guess create some connections with people in the similar bubble. Yeah, and then I had just noticed I was doing that for a while and noticed, okay, no, I need to get off. And then I was like, okay, let me just do the video since I'm already on this. But then, yeah, I noticed that actually, no, I want to be here now. Again, we're always here. It's not that I'm not present, even if I'm on the phone, I'm present, but I'm like, I guess, present in a different way, right? Like you can get that sort of almost like a tunnel vision, I guess, right? Where you get like almost like sucked into like this like wormhole of the internet. And then, yeah, then I noticed for myself, no, you know what? I'm not going to do that video right now at the beach, even though it was beautiful, beautiful setting, beautiful environment. So in some way, it was like a very perfect moment to take the video. But I noticed in that moment, no, I want to be here with the sound of the waves and just taking this time for me. And yeah, this is something that, at least for me, it is something that I have struggled with, to know what is true for me in every moment, truly true, not something that I'm doing out of conditioning, but rather that I'm really doing it because this feels true to me. And I noticed even the whole process that I was doing on the internet, there was a strong resistance there. But I think that resistance was not because I wasn't doing my truth. I think that resistance comes from a general resistance of probably like a fear of being seen or something like that. And there's something in me, a strong energy that resists trying to create content and share it with others. I think there is like this fear, of being seen, and something that is causing me, or has a very powerful pull for me to procrastinate from actually creating this content and sharing it. So I do feel like in that sense that was my truth. And at the same time, I noticed when I finished that how much energy that cost me to do that, because on one hand there was a strong resistance, but also there was the sort of wormhole being sucked in, so there's these two sort of opposing forces just causing a lot of energy to be thrown around, and at the same time it was interesting because I was able to observe that, and that was quite cool. So yeah, I feel the video, I guess the point that I'm trying to make here is I feel like it's a matter of subtlety, really, to discern what is actually your truth and what is conditioning, what are old patterns, because I do genuinely feel, and I don't feel this is just because of my experience, but I genuinely do feel that this is something that probably most of us might struggle with, to really know, is this my truth? And to identify that in every moment, to really be super, what's that called? Not just precise, but very nitpicky, or I don't know the exact word that I'm looking for. You know, in every moment to identify, hey, am I actually right now moving from a place of truth? Is this coming from a place of truth? Or is this conditioning? Because I really do feel conditioning is so deeply layered in us. Centuries, thousands of years of conditioning. And so, yeah, I feel like this is a very, I feel it takes a lot of commitment, kind of like when you go to the gym, right? If you want to see some results in the gym, you have to commit. And it's not just about like, oh, let's do 2 to 3 months. No, it's about deciding, hey, I'm in this for good. This will be my life. This is a lifestyle that you create to make that shift, because that shift will not happen if you just say, oh yeah, I'll do it for a little while. No, if you really want to see the changes, you have to be willing to commit. And you're not going to regret it. Well, you will have moments where you feel that way, for sure. You will have moments where you're like, why the fuck am I doing this? Why am I continuing this shit? Yes, you will have moments like that. It's not all fun and games, fairies and rainbows. You have to go through the mud. We all have that mud. We all will have to go through it if we choose to do this work. But once you do, once you really do commit, and once you really give it the time that it needs, it's like gambling, where, yeah, you are gambling in a sense, but you win every time. You don't know how long, how little it may take. For some, it may happen really fast. For some, it may literally happen instantly. But for some, it may take a while. But in this, when you choose to commit to this, you do win. As long as you just keep going. Don't stop. And it's not going to look all linear. It's going to go up and down and back and forth, and God knows in what other ways, you know. But you will see results. Because once you really learn to connect to your truth, once you really learn to understand what is really, truly your truth in every moment, then your life starts to shift. And usually that shift doesn't necessarily happen immediately externally, but you start to feel something inside you, and that's the biggest, most beautiful shift. Because then it doesn't matter how the outside starts to look, because inwardly you start to sense a sense of peace, tranquility, this eternal stillness. Because you're coming back home. You're remembering who you are. You're coming back to source. And that's coming back to the very place where existence pulsates out of. And this is a life journey, because I mean, that source is perfect, and discovering that is an eternal journey. But the deeper we go, the more beautiful it gets. The more challenging it gets too, but the more beautiful it gets too. to a point where life just becomes bliss, overflowing with it.